Let's talk to God. One more thing, like, subscribe and share. Come on, let's talk to God. Woo!
Well, good evening, everybody. Hey, it's Cutler here in the Let's Talk to Cutler broadcast, the Let's Talk to Cutler virtual book club, and the Let's Talk to Cutler YouTube platform. And I am delighted to be able to share these 1800 seconds with you all. I'm here every Tuesday for about 1800 seconds, trying to offer something that's inspirational, something that's motivational, and something that challenges us to show up as our best selves, even in the worst of situations. Do me a favor. Can you all hear me okay? Somebody just put a note in the chat and let me know that you can hear me. It looks like my device here is saying that there's an issue with my laptop. So I want to make sure that you all can hear me. Can you hear me? Good. Thank you. Thank you so much. It looks like the problem has corrected itself. But again, I'm just delighted to be here, and I'm delighted that you all will have invited me or allowed me to come into the space, whether it's your living room, your dining room, your kitchen, your front porch, if you're out walking or working out, whatever it is. Thank you all so much for allowing me to share this space. This evening, I want to talk about happiness as the goal. I want to talk about how we strive, or how we should strive to be happy. And I'm reminded of a song that says, "Oh, to be kept." But I want to talk about, "Oh, to be happy." Because here we are still in the beginning of the year, and some of us are losing sight of what's really important. And happiness is the key. Happiness is important. So as we're looking for the space and this place is called better, as we are on our way there, I want to remind you that better doesn't have to happen 5 weeks from now. It doesn't have to happen 5 days, or even 5 months or years from now. But happiness can happen now, and better can happen right now in that same space. And we can talk about that. We can talk about the mindset that catapults us into the space that's called better, catapults us into the space that's called happiness, and how we can really show up our best selves, even in the worst of situations. How many of us know that really life will afford us these opportunities where there are pitfalls and hurdles and obstacles and things, but we have to navigate, we have to maneuver, and how you respond to life really matters. And I want to talk about responding to life in such a way that makes us happy, that keeps us happy, that keeps us on what I call a happiness trajectory, that keeps us on a happiness platform. And I'll do that in just a moment. But I do want to say thank you to those of you who have been with me for a while. I appreciate it. Thank you to those of you who continue to send me emails and will encourage me. I'm reading them, although I haven't had a chance to respond to them just yet. Thank you so much for that. And I want to talk to those people who, here we are at the beginning of the year, and you haven't subscribed to Let's Talk to Cutler. See, you all didn't know I was going there, did you? You thought I was going somewhere else. But do me a favor, if you've been watching, and if this is your first time, or if you're catching the replay for the first time, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe. Because I'm not up here talking about negativity. I'm not talking about anything that's downtrodden, or that's down falling, or that will cast us down. But I'm talking about things that will lift us, that will inspire us, that will motivate us, and that will push us into a space where we want to become better. Anybody other than me really want to become better, and better is not always the end goal. Sometimes people think, oh, I've arrived at a space that's called better, and I'm there, and that's as good as it gets. But that's not the truth, you all. You can arrive at a space that's called better today. Oh my God. You can arrive at a space that's called better today. And then there's something even beyond the better. There's a better beyond the better. I felt like I just worked on something when I said that. There is a better beyond the better. And we then ought to strive. I'm always striving to get to this place that's called better, because better for me might not look like it looks for you today or tomorrow. Better for me could just be the fact that I answer, that my responses to life are better today than they were yesterday. And sometimes it's about making sure that I show up better today than I did yesterday, and that I strive to show up better tomorrow than I did today. I want to be better. And once I get to that space, I want to catapult. I want to go beyond that space. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about what it means. And I want us to talk about what it means from the standpoint of my mental status, and where I am on my peace continuum, where I am on my, what I call my joy journey. Now, before I do that, I know I forgot to say, once you subscribe and click on the notification bell, because it lets you know whenever I've gone live and uploaded new content and all that kind of stuff. And I also didn't get a chance to shout out the LTTC VIPs. Let me do that right now. Shout out the people who beat me over in the chat first. Now, thank you all for coming on over, because I see you all. And I want to see my friends. Tell everybody to come on and chat and let's talk the color. He's only here Tuesdays now, you all. So just show up for, give the man 1,800 seconds. All right. So I want to shout out Hattie Boone, Andy Cutler, and Marissa. Thank you all for being the first to jump over in the chat from what I can see on my end. But tell some, go and get somebody else. If you know people are struggling with being happy, go and get them and let's talk this thing through. Let's talk about this. I'm not going to be here very long, but I want us to talk about this because you can be in charge of your own happiness. You are in charge of your own. Let me say that to all of us. You are in charge of your own happiness. Nobody is responsible for your happiness but you. Nobody. So then, Cutler, how then can I ensure that I am in this perpetual state of happiness? And why is that even important? I was reading a post by one of my friends earlier today, and it says, my main goal every day is to be happy. No matter what trials I face, no matter how old I get, happiness is the key to all things great. This friend of mine posted, my main goal every day, I just want to be happy. And how many of us can say that? I'm not trying to interfere with anybody's life. I'm not trying to create any trauma. I'm not trying to create any unnecessary drama. I'm not trying to create any pitfalls. I'm not trying to create any hurdles. I'm not trying to create any problems for them or for me, nor do I want them to create any for me as well. So my main goal is to be happy. I want to wake up happy. I want to start my day out happy. I want to end my day and look back and be happy about the kind of day that I have. You are in charge of that. You're in control of that. And so we have to be careful not to let people divert us, not to let people throw us off of our plan, not to let people distract us from happiness. I just thought happiness distractions. And there are some of them, you all, and we have to make sure that we know how to avoid the happiness distractions. For the people who might want to catch the replay a little later, can somebody just put that in the chat? Avoid happiness distractions. Avoid the happiness distractions. I want to be happy every day, all day. Now, I know that's probably ideal and it's more like kind of like a utopia kind of thing, but I really want to be happy all day, every day. That's what I strive for. I strive to be peaceful. I strive to be happy. I was reading a post by a relative today who said, my children are the reason that I smile, that I laugh, that I cry. They are my happy place. They are what makes my heart beat and sometimes break. My children are my everything. And I love that because this relative realized there are some happy cues in her life. There are some happy triggers in her life. And oh my goodness, here we go again. So I just talked about make sure that you put avoid the happiness distraction. And what about embrace the happiness triggers? Embrace the happiness triggers. Let's see. Let's see if I can just put that. Avoid the happy. What did I say? Hey, because I don't think I've ever stopped to do this. Oh, yeah. Avoid the happiness distractions. And I may not have typed it correctly because I don't have my eyeglasses. Let's see. Yes, avoid happiness distraction. Thank you so much for that, Kate Sharp. I appreciate it. And embrace the happiness triggers. Embrace the happiness triggers. That's right. We have to learn how to avoid the distractions, but embrace the triggers. Embrace the things that you know that are going to make you happy. Avoid the things that you know are going to distract you from being happy. There are people who just don't want you to be happy. Some people are sad, some people are miserable, and they want you the same way. It is true that misery loves company. So let's talk about, let's, as the young folks say, let's get into this thing about how then can I make sure that I'm striving to be happy every day? How can I make sure that I embrace happiness? How can I make sure that happiness really is my goal? Cutler, how do I do that? I can do that. And then if we're going to talk about happiness, let's embrace the meaning of happiness. Let's make sure that we understand what it is to be happy. Because happiness is not just this feeling of joy or contentment, but happiness is this sense that, you know what, my life is meaningful. My life has value. That's really what happiness is, you all. And a lot of times people have said things like, oh, you can't expect to be happy all the time. But yes, you can. In the midst of sorrow, in the midst of things that are happening, there can be an element of happiness in your life, the sense that my life is meaningful and valued. I am happy. I can maintain happiness. I can carry two emotions in one vial. Mm, I really can. I can maintain and carry two emotions in one vial. Yes, I can be sad about one thing, but happy about something else. I'm the one vessel, I'm the one container, I'm the one vial. I can maintain it inside because, in the midst of whatever I'm going through, in the midst of some of my greatest tragedies in life, I still have the sense that my life is meaningful. In the midst of my deepest sorrow and woe, I still have a sense that my life is meaningful. So, yes, you can maintain more than one emotion in this vial that's called you. Because it is this feeling of joy and contentment and positive emotions, but it is also the sense that my life has value, my life is meaningful. That's happiness. What does it look like, Cutler? How does it play out? It means that as a happy person, you are a positive thinker. I was reading that, I think, oh my goodness, I forgot my reference, but I was reading that somewhere today. That as a happy person, it plays out with you being a positive thinker. A happy person is somebody who's hopeful about the future. They're not singing a gloom and doom story, but they are hopeful. They're anticipatory about the future. They believe that things are going to work out, that the best is going to come in the long run. It's going to work together for my good. I know that sounds spiritually based. I know it sounds faith based, but that's how a happy person responds. That's how a happy person acts. That's how a happy person behaves. They behave in a way whereby they think positively, whereby they're hopeful about the future, whereby they believe that things are going to work out in their best interest. It's just going to work out for my best interest in the future. This is just a little moment that I'm going through. I grew up hearing people in my family saying things, oh, this is just a spell. They were reminding me that whatever you go through, that this too comes to pass. But they wouldn't say it so eloquently, but they say it in a way now that seems so poetic to me. That's just a spell. And they didn't mean from the perspective of magic or witchcraft or anything like that, casting a spell. They meant just for a spell of time. Oh, I'm just going through a spell. And they would say that. And somewhere in the midst of saying that, their words landed in this place that declared, I'll bounce back from what I'm going through. I will not end in this place. I won't die on this mountain. I won't die on this hill. But whatever I'm going through is only but a while. This is going to pass. And I wish that our mindset could be today that whatever I'm going through, when I'm going through the bad in my life, it's just a spell. Things are going to work out for my good in the end. That's how a happy person behaves. That's how a happy person responds. That's how a happy person thinks. That's how a happy person reacts. But there are so many people, my friends, who struggle. They just struggle with being happy. And then you wonder, why do people struggle with being happy? Sometimes I'm happy that I just got out of my car when it caught on fire. Oh my God, listen, not only am I happy, but I rejoice with you. There are, that indeed is a happiness trigger. One person has just said, I'm happy. Marissa, our friend Marissa says, I'm happy that I just got out my car when it caught on fire. Glad about that because it reminds me, you know what, things are working together for my good. I know that's a bad situation, but the fact that I got out is a good situation. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely, my friend. I rejoice with you. And there are some people who just struggle to stay happy. And I get it. That's when I said sometimes we have to learn how to show up our best selves, even in the worst of situations, because those worst situations, they come sometimes, they come just like a firing squad sometimes. But we have to just program ourselves. We have to condition ourselves whereby we respond in such a way that keeps us uplifted rather than downtrodden or downcast. There are lots of reasons why you could feel unhappy. Sometimes people are going through stress at work, at school, in their home. Sometimes people are just very hard on themselves. Sometimes we are our worst enemies. And so we struggle with happiness because we are our worst enemies. We sabotage everything that we set out to do. We'll assassinate our dreams before they can ever grow. Sometimes people struggle for happiness because they just don't have any daily experiences that bring them joy. They don't look for the happiness triggers. They don't set the happiness triggers. But sometimes you have to set your own happiness triggers. The same way I said one day you have to look for things that bring you peace, that bring you contentment, that bring you whatever positivity that you need. And I said, then we may need to post those things, the things that make us smile. Post them. You might need to post the things around your house. You might need to post those things that make you happy, that make you joyful. Some of us have no daily experiences that bring us joy, the things that make us smile. That's why I so appreciated one of my cousins' posts who said, "My children are the reason that I smile." You've got to lay hold to some things that make you happy. And so when I talk about this, you all, I talk about it from the perspective of making sure that you load your arsenal every day with what you need to make it through the day. I had a professor once when I was working on my undergraduate degree at Howard University many years ago. It was this class called Managerial Economics, and my professor was Dr. Lee. How do I remember that when that was over 30 years? You all, I don't know how I remember, but it was Dr. Lee, and he would come to my managerial economics class, and he said, every day you come to class, you come to do battle. And when you come to do battle, you have to remember that the book is part of your weapon. And he said that you don't face battle without your weapon. And what I'm suggesting to us is that you don't face the battle without your weapon. You don't face the daily battles without your weapon. And your weapon are your weapons are the triggers to your happiness. So you know you're going to do battle each day. Make sure that in your arsenal, you have packed the things that are going to get you through. You've packed the things that are going to keep you uplifted. You've packed the things that are going to keep you positive. You've packed the things that are going to keep you hopeful. You've packed the things that's going to give you this kind of expectation that says things are going to get better. Things won't be like this always. So I really can't show up my best self, even in the worst of situations. Pack your happiness triggers. Know what they are. Some people struggle, you all. And then I'm always hopeful and prayerful for those who are struggling with happiness, because there may be some mental condition. And by mental condition, I'm talking about things like, or mental health conditions like depression, like anxiety. Sometimes people are fighting and battling with things like substance abuse. And when we know people who are battling with those things like depression, who are battling with things like anxiety, who are battling with things like substance abuse, let's be a resource for them. Let's be a resource whereby we can help other people strive to be happy. I am so committed to the people in my life until not only do I want to be happy, but I want them to be happy every single day of their life. I remember what it's like to wake up in this emotional darkness with this cloud over you, this cloud just hovering over you, and you just can't find any joy anywhere. You can't find any peace anywhere. You can't find any light anywhere. And it is almost, as it were, you're meandering through the day in darkness. Doesn't matter that the sun is shining outside. You feel as though you're navigating the day. You're meandering through the day in this state of darkness. Those are the people who are struggling to be happy. But I want to talk about it for these next seconds that I have here. I want to talk about how then, Cutler, how can I be happier? What can I do to be happier? How can I counteract the moments that come to snatch that happiness from me? One of the things you've got to do is learn how to manage your stress levels, you all. Because if you have a lot of stress in your life, you need to find a way to reduce it. Whatever it takes, find a way to reduce the stress in your life. Whether it's time management, whatever it is. If it's exercise, whatever it may be, but you've got to learn how to take control of your time in a way that can effectively reduce the stress. So learn how to manage the stress levels in your life. That is one way that you can become happier. Because if you have feelings of anxiety along with your stress, Learn how to sometimes stop in the moment, manage your time, stop in the moment and just breathe. Learn how to manage your stress. Breathing is a great way to manage your stress. And it's only been, honestly, it's only been in the past 3 months that I've really started implementing that within my life a little bit more, learning how to just breathe. And by that, I mean physically breathe. I'm not talking about metaphorically breathe, but I'm talking about really, I'm learning sometimes how to go, okay, all right, that's not so bad. That's not so bad. Sometimes you got to do that. And then not only must we learn how to manage the stress or our stress levels, sometimes you've just got to say, you know what, I am going to enjoy life. I am just going to enjoy myself. And that means, that's right, Bobby Dunmore, sometimes we have to learn how to woosah. And I mean that physically. Sometimes you have to physically stop and learn how to go, ooh. Just let it out. Sometimes you have to do that. Additionally, as a part of what we need to do sometimes is just learn how to, looks like I dropped my glasses. One of the things that we need to do, excuse me, you all. Oh. One of the things that we need to do is to learn. Sometimes we just got to learn how to enjoy yourself. Do the simple things in life that you enjoy. If you enjoy watching sports, just watch sports. If you enjoy taking a nice bath, take a nice bath. If you enjoy meeting up and hanging out with your friends, then meet up and hang out with your friends. If you enjoy going to a coffee shop and sitting in there reading a book by yourself, then go to the coffee shop and grab a book and read it by yourself. Enjoy yourself. Do the things that make you feel good. Do the things that make you happy. If cooking is your happy space, then cook. If dancing is your happy space, then dance. If doing them both at the same time is your happy space, then do them both at the same time. We just need to learn how to enjoy ourselves. Can I tell y'all this? We have one life. One. We have one life. And there are no do-overs. There are no repeats. Enjoy yourself while you're going through this life, for it ends sometimes way too soon. Enjoy it. Make the best of it. So that if you had the opportunity to get to the end, and when it's about to end, you could reflect, you could look back over time, over the years, and say, I enjoyed myself. I made the best of it. I made the best of it. And try to avoid those things that make you feel good at first, but then they make you feel worse afterwards. Try to avoid those. And by that, Cutler, what do you mean? Listen, I'm not up here on behalf of Alcoholics Anonymous or anybody, but there are some things that make you feel good initially, but make you feel bad afterwards. Sometimes when people drink too much, that's what happens. It feels good at the beginning, but then at the end, not so much. Sometimes the same thing is true with junk food. You just start out eating junk food and you start gorging and just overeating. And the next thing you know, you have stomach aches and you're sick and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, but do things that you enjoy. Do things that will boost your self-esteem, that make you feel good about you. There's no harm in doing things that make you feel good about you. I said to one of my relatives this past Saturday, sometimes you've got to learn to treat yourself the same way that you would treat a valued friend. You've got to say to yourself the same things that you would say to a valuable friend. You've got to love yourself. You've got to care for and love yourself the same way that you love and care for the people who are in your life. You have to do the same thing, which means that you've got to stop putting yourself down so much. You've got to stop saying things like, oh, that was so stupid of me. You've got to stop saying things like that. But the same things that you would say to your very best friend, you've got to learn to say to you. For the past 3 years, I have meditated and journaled daily to help me manage my stress. Plus, learning various breathing techniques helps keep me in balance. K Sharp, thank you. Thank you, my friend, for validating that. Breathing is a powerful tool. I'm telling you, and you've been doing it, let's see, meditating and doing this for the past 3 years. In terms of the breathing, I've just really started that more deliberately in the past 3 months. to just sometimes sit down and breathe, sometimes to stand up and breathe. But whatever I do, I'm deliberate about how I breathe. Sometimes boosting your self-esteem. Sometimes you've just got to say to yourself, you know what? You're a good person. You're a positive person. You're a powerful person. You're a gifted person. You're a talented person. You are a valuable person. And don't worry, you'll get through whatever you're going through. Sometimes you have to say that. You are equipped for whatever comes your way. You have to build your self-esteem and say things like that. I sit and close my eyes to manage stress. I think that's a wonderful thing. And I know this is sometimes where I get in trouble with you all or people when I start sharing my opinions. But another piece when it comes to how do you make yourself happy? How do you strive to be happy? How this whole notion of to be happy, do the best you can with maintaining a healthy lifestyle. And whatever that looks like for you, do the best that you can to maintain a healthy lifestyle. For some people, it means you may need to limit your alcohol intake. For some people, it means that you may have to choose a well-balanced diet. For some people, it means that you may have to do some exercise. For some people, it means you have to get more sleep or get enough sleep. So whatever maintaining a healthy lifestyle looks like for you, then strive to do that. That helps you get to a place and a space that's called happiness. And then learn how, as you're going through life, learn how to communicate, learn how to talk and share things that are important, whether it's with a friend or a family member or a counselor or an advisor or whomever it may be. Learn how to communicate and share what's going on in your life so that you don't have things that are bottled up on the inside of you. Lots of people find that talking to family and friends and the counselors, it helps them to get through those troubling situations. It really does. Talking things through sometimes can help you release this tension so that you don't deal with high blood pressure, that you don't become subject to strokes, and that it just helps with all of that. It'll also help strengthen your relationships. What am I saying, you all? Let's strive to be happy. Learn how to become so resilient that everything doesn't bother you. That you learn how to cope with the ups and the downs and the ins and the outs and the roundabouts and the vicissitudes of life. Learn how to build your resilience so that everything does not tear you down, but the very thing that sometimes comes to tear you down has the opposite effect on you because it builds you up. Learn how to build your resilience. Learn how to make something positive out of those otherwise would be painful moments. And sometimes if you say, Cutler, I don't have what I need, sometimes create what you need. Because when you create what you need, you just might be creating what other people need. I felt that when I said it. Learn how to create sometimes what you need, because in doing so, you might be creating something that somebody else needs. Maybe there's a support group. Cutler, I didn't have that kind of support. Well, create a support group, because if you create a support group for you, you may be creating it for somebody else. Learn how to sit and meditate. Learn how to sit and write. Learn how to sit and think. Sometimes you just may need to walk and talk and write and sing and dance and do all of those sorts of things that will help you build your resilience, that will help you navigate the pain. Learn how to express what you're going through. Learn how to manage the hard times. I want us all to strive to be happy as we are floating right on through 2024. I want us to learn how to strive to be happy. I want us to say, happiness is my goal. Every single day I wake up, my goal is to be happy. Throughout the middle of the day, if you check in with me, Cutler, one of the emotions that I want to express to you that I'm feeling is happiness. Somewhere in my peace of mind, I want to be able to say, I'm happy. Somewhere in the clarity of my thoughts, I want to say, yes, I'm happy, and this is just not a feigned or fake or made up happiness, Cutler, but I'm genuinely happy because my life has meaning, and no matter what I'm going through, I recognize that my life has meaning. I heard you, Cutler, even in the midst of my trials, even in the midst of my heartaches, even in the midst of my tribulations, even in the midst of my sorrows, even in the midst of the rough patches in my life still has value, and guess what? I am happy. And I know we say it sometimes, there's a difference between joy and happiness. I know we sometimes make that subtle distinction. We talk about the nuances between the two, but may I suggest to you that happiness is the goal, recognizing that you are content with yourself, that you are content with life, that you are content with the Creator, that you are glad to be here. I'm glad I'm here, and I'm glad to be here. I'm happy. There are some people who wake up and say, oh my God, really, I got to face another day. But guess what? I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be on this side of the grave. I'm glad to be on this side of the dirt. I'm glad to be on victory side. I'm happy. And let me tell you all this. I am happy to be happy. I'm happy to be happy because it was not always this way. I know I've got to go, you all. I've probably I've been here longer than I need to be here. But I'm happy to be happy because I remember there were days when I didn't wake up like this. There were days when I woke up and questioned my existence. There were days when I woke up and said, I have too many struggles that I cannot contend with, I cannot deal with. But I'm happy to be happy. When you reach that place, that as a mindset, it does not go in and out every day. It's not that you're happy one day and you're sad the next, and you're mad and you're no. I have this continuous happiness that is on the trajectory that is parallel with the joy that I have. Because yes, the same joy that I have that the world didn't give to me, the world didn't give my happiness to me either. That's between me and my Creator and the way that life has unfolded for me. I'm happy to be here. And I'm happy about the people who are in my life. And so if I can offer you anything, I'm just pouring out of my vial into yours. So you all, thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for allowing me to share with you about making sure that we strive for happiness, making sure that happiness is a goal, making sure that we sing a song that simply says, oh, to be happy. Let's keep doing what we do, y'all. Let's keep building community. Let's keep maintaining connectivity. Let's keep our heads up. Let's keep our hopes up. Let's keep our happiness up. Let's stay safe and let's stay sane. Stay safe and stay sane, and know that from my heart to yours there is and always will be so much love. I'm telling you all this. I told you all that when I share these Tuesday nights, I'm going to share from a place of transparency and a place from my heart. I love the comments. I can't go back to feeling like I used to. My happiness is my goal. Thank you. Thank you all so much. Please know that I love you all. And until the next time we talk, didn't we have a good conversation tonight? Now, you all know this country. Didn't we have a good conversation? Then tell somebody, go and get them and tell them next Tuesday, y'all come on and let's talk to Cutler. The man is just trying to help save your life. I'll talk to you the next time I talk to you. Good night, everybody.